people, your memory. Do something good and die. Do not vegetate, not live like a donkey or live like a dog. They also marry, they also reproduce, they also eat, and they also make merry. If our life as human being is going to be on the same level, there is no difference between us and the animals and the vegetating plants. One good turn I can't do. I give an example. Suppose you are walking in the street and you saw a blind person. In this country, a blind person is being assisted for mobility. Stick is given, training is given, accepted. But even then, there is always room for help. If you and I were there, and if we saw a blind person, a boy or a girl or a human being grown up, trying to cross a road, and if you just catch him by the arm and say, "May I help you cross the road?" That good turn changes your day. If you had not done a good turn yesterday, this day is much better than yesterday because today you helped a human being. I have given a simple example. Those small good turns which a human being is expected to do, like giving your seat to a lady who, for example, is disabled. She is pregnant, carrying a child. There is no seat, you have a seat, you stood up and said, "You take your seat." Or an elderly person, may not be disabled, but older than yourself, you gave your seat to him, maybe a Muslim or a non-Muslim, regardless, irrespective of the fact, shows that there has been some imbibing of the teaching of the Prophet. I said once that in Arabia, even today, if you go to Jeddah and Makkah Mu'azzama and Medina, if you do some good turn to an elderly person, he will not tell you thank you. He will say, "Rahimallahu walidayk." You go to any Arab country, an elderly person, suppose you help. And I saw once, an elderly person entered airport, Jeddah airport, could not walk. One young man just frantically searched for a wheelchair and brought a wheelchair and offered. No relation, not his father, not his grandfather, not even his uncle. And in Arabic he told him, "Father, this is a wheelchair, you can't walk. Please sit and I shall give you some help. I'll take you to the check-in counter." He took him to the check-in counter, helped him check in, and then brought him, because there was time for going to the lounge, departure lounge, there was some time. So he then politely said, "Can I now go so that I may finish my work? Are you comfortable?" The answer he gave was, "Rahimallahu walidayk." May Allah have mercy upon your parents who taught you how to live. Had it not been for your parents' training, you would not have done this. Your father and mother must be blessed for what they taught you as to how to deal. This day for him was a day. "I'mal lidunyaka ka'annaka ta'ishu abada." The Prophet said, work for your world, this life, as if you were to live forever. وَعْمَلْ لِآخِرَتِكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. And work for your akhirat as if you are going to die tomorrow. A balance. Work for your world as if you are living forever. And at the same time, work for your hereafter as if you are going to die tomorrow. That balance was so important that the Prophet changed the lives of the people. When you hear about Salman, when you hear about Abu Dhar Ghifari, Miqdad, Bilal, Huzaifa, and others, we don't realize what changed them. It was not the beauty or the handsomeness of the Prophet which changed them. Had it been so, Abu Sufyan would have changed. It was nothing else. What changed was the teaching. Immediately they grasped the teaching of Muhammad. Life changed. What changes occur? What happens? Does it mean that from tomorrow those who may have realized will now start wearing long sherwani? Or if they are shaving, they will just keep a little bit of it? And those who keep a little bit of it to cheat, who say that I haven't shaved for 2 days, may keep a proper one. Is this going to be the change? Or those who do not pray will start prayers? Or those who will not fast don't fast, they will fast in this Ramadan, inshallah. Or those who haven't gone to Hajj, despite the capabilities, will go to. Is that the change? Look. These are the changes which will occur automatically. There is going to be a principal change. Listen to me carefully. It's not going to be a very long one. I'm going to deliver my message which I have been able to grasp from the life of this Prophet in whom we believe. I'm going to convey this. What will change is the placing of the values. Remember what I have said. Where you attach your value, that will change. Up till now, the value is on money. The value is on worldly achievement. Once realized, the achievements of this world are immediately seen in true perspective that they are transitory. What is required is something perpetual. I must change myself, not what I acquire. Because that which comes to me is not me. It is me as a human being that must first change. Even if it is poverty, even if it is illness, even if it is no influence, even if it is no friends. But you come to change yourself. And you really do not attach any importance to things which are mundane and temporal and transitory. It's something. It's beautiful. And that is true Islam. The rest, the ritual and the ceremonies without having realized the Prophet's teaching is just like a body without soul. That is why people ask every time, "Panch wakat namaz, Payghambar ne શું થઈ બે વખત કરી નાખ્યો હતો?" Why is he kept it 5 times? Early morning rise, again noontime rise, again Maghrib. Oh, he never allows us to do business. But namaz or roza or anything, even roza or hajj, how many times have we heard, "Had I known, I would not have gone." Saudi Arabia, oh. Because he went there as a tourist, thinking that there will be 5-star hotel. And then he condemns Arabs. Despite the money they have no civilization. They have no time sense. Well, whatever be the fact, you went there for Hajj. And Imam Ali alayhi salam in Nahj Balagha says that Allah deliberately placed Kaaba at a place where there is no comfort, so that one may undergo all sorts of difficulties to realize that going to the spiritual elevation is not an easy task. One who comes back and says, "Ya Allah, you may accept my Hajj," and one who comes back full of stories of agony, there's a difference in approach. Is it not so? It is. One who fasts for Ramadan and says 19 hours, "Ya Allah, I'm going to collect bonus from him." And one who fasts and says, "Ya Allah, I have, but this is for you to accept," is different. One who fasts and thinks how to waste his time. Mulla Sahib, show us how to pass time. I don't call that passing of time. I call that killing of time. What we have got to learn is to live time and not to kill time. And so namaz, and so everything, khums or zakat or whatever be, whatever we give. One cannot write a check. Hundreds of people have come to say, "Mulla Sahib, I know that this much of haqqullah is upon me." Khums. How much? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I'm telling you, Mulla Sahib. Said, "All right. So it's a secret." Now, right. Hath chalto nathi. Hath chalto nathi. The hand does not move. Why? Because there is value upon that money. He is thinking that without this, there is no value in life. If I am worth some thousands or millions of sterling, then I am something. That means if I am accosted by people, "Salam alaikum," said, or people just try to leave away when I enter because of my mapesa, or wherever I am, even if I am foolish, people say, "Ana jao dayo joyo nathi." Even if I speak rubbish and talk shop, because of the money, people say he is the wisest man ever born on earth. And with all the ugliness I have, people say, "Ana jao ruparo joyo nathi." Simply because of money. And this is what worries me, that I can only achieve a status if Allah says, "Qul Lillahi al-izzah jami'an. Izzah is for Allah. He gives izzat, not money. Because if that is the value which is transitory, then where that which is transitory passes over, what happens? A man who was multimillionaire yesterday, when he came here, we all stood up. Huh? When he spoke, we all voted for him because of money. M-O-N-E-W, N-E-Y. I always talk of double because it's money after all. But then a phase comes when the money has fizzled out. Loss after loss incurred. The man is now penniless. Now he comes. He comes in the same society, among the same people. Nobody looks at him. Nobody offers him a chair. Nobody tells him. If he talks, people say, wait. Sit down. You have lost your senses together with your money. Why? I have seen this with my own eyes, and you have seen. You have seen, and those